Hello children, welcome all. Let's continue our session. In this session, we will revise chapter number 13, sound. First, we have learnt about sound. Sound is a form of energy. It plays an important role in our daily lives. It helps us to communicate with each other, and we hear variety of sounds in our surroundings. Then we have learnt about how is sound produced. Sound is produced by vibrating body. What is vibration? Vibration is a to and fro, or you can tell back and forth motion of an object is called as vibration. Examples, if you strike a school bell, it vibrates and produces sound. If you pluck a stretched rubber band, it vibrates and produces sound. If you beat drum, the stretched membrane of a drum vibrates and produces sound. The same way, if you blow a flute or bugle, in the air column vibrates and produces sound. So from these examples, we can understand that sound is produced by vibration. Once if the vibration stops, sound produced also will be stopped. Then we have learnt about sound produced in humans. Here in human, the larynx or voice box produces sound. Then here this diagram, two part is very important, trachea and vocal cord. So larynx moves when we swallow something. Inside the larynx, you can see two vocal cords. That is a muscle which is stretched along the larynx. There is because of this stretched vocal cord, there is a small gap between them. The small gap allows the air to pass through. So when we speak, air is forced into this small gap by the lungs, and this makes the vocal cords to vibrate. Because of this vibration, sound is produced. And how do we hear? And this sound is heard by ear. And here you can see three parts of ear: outer ear, middle ear, and inner ear. The outer ear is funnel-like structure, and you can see that it is lead to a canal, ear canal, which ends in a eardrum. Eardrum is a stretched membrane. It is like a stretched rubber sheet, and because whenever sound enters through our outer ear, it enters the ear canal, and it ends in eardrum, and it makes the eardrum to vibrate. The eardrum then sends vibration to the inner ear. Then from there, its signal goes to brain. That is why we hear sound. Then we have learnt about propagation of sound. How is sound traveled? Sound is propagated by medium. Medium is necessary for propagation of sound. Sound is propagated, we have learned, with various activity. Sound is propagated by gases or air. It is propagated by liquid as well as solid. Sound cannot be traveled in the absence of medium, that is in vacuum. Sound cannot travel. Then we have learnt about amplitude, time period, and frequency of vibration. What is amplitude? Amplitude is a maximum displacement of particle from its mean position in either direction. Amplitude is a maximum displacement of a particle from its mean position in either direction. And what is time period? Time taken to complete one oscillation is known as time period. Then what is vibration? Vibration is otherwise called as oscillation. The to and fro movement of object is known as vibration or called as oscillatory motion. And what is frequency of oscillation? The number of oscillation per second is called frequency of oscillation. In 1 second, how many oscillation or how many vibration takes place? It is called as frequency of oscillation. And frequency is expressed in hertz. It can be denoted by Hz. So if I tell frequency of 1 hertz, it means in 1 second, 1 oscillation took place. If an object, then we have learned this example, if an object oscillates 20 times in 1 second, that is 1 second, 20 vibrations takes place. What would be its frequency? Frequency is nothing but number of oscillation per second. 1 second, 20 times. So frequency is 20 hertz. So with the same way, whatever we have learned, time period and frequency, you can get sums like this. Let us see this. A pendulum oscillates 40 times in 4 seconds. Find its time period and frequency. So first let us find here what it is given. So first let us write given number of oscillation, that is 40, and time taken is 4 seconds. In 4 seconds, 40 oscillation, 40 vibrations takes place. We have to find out time period. What is time period? Time taken to complete 1 oscillation. So time upon number of oscillation. So here time upon 1 oscillation. Here 40 seconds, we have to find it for 1 oscillation, or you can directly convert for time 4 seconds. Number of oscillations takes place 40. So 4 upon 40, you reduce, you will get 1 upon 10. 1 upon 10 is nothing but 0.1 second. Time period, you have to keep in mind number of the time taken to complete 1 oscillation. The frequency is number of oscillation per second. Here, number of oscillation per 4 seconds given, isn't it? So we have to convert for 1 second, 40 upon 4. 40 upon 4 is 10. So 10 per second. 10, here frequency is denoted by hertz. So it is 10 hertz. If it is directly given, if suppose if the oscillation for 1 second is 40, it is 40 hertz. But here 40 times in 4 seconds given. So we have to convert it for 1 second. So 40 upon 4 will get for number of oscillation per second, that is 10. That is nothing but frequency. Next question. The sound from a mosquito is produced when it vibrates its wings at an average rate of 500 vibrations per second. What is the time period of vibration? So 1 second, 500 vibration takes place. So time period, time upon number of vibration. So it is 1 upon 500. If you reduce it, you will get it 1 divided by 500. You will get it 0.002 second. So this 2 you have to keep in mind. Time period is time upon number of vibration or number of oscillation. Frequency is number of oscillation per second. Then we have learned amplitude and frequency. Both are very, very important properties of sound. We can differentiate sound on the basis of their amplitude and frequency. So next, on the basis of amplitude and frequency, we have learned about the sound, loud sound and pitch, isn't it? Loudness. So loudness of sound depends on amplitude. The amplitude is large, the sound produced will be loud. If the amplitude is small, the sound produced is feeble. The same way, pitchness or shrillness, it depends upon frequency. If the frequency of vibration is higher, we get high pitch sound, or you can tell shrill. If the frequency of vibration is lower, we get low pitch sound. For example, if you compare vibration of drum and a blowing of whistle. Drum, when it vibrates with low frequency. Therefore, it produces low-pitched sound. Whenever it produces low-pitched sound, it makes loud noise. Loudness will be more. Low-pitched sound. On the other hand, when you blow whistle, it has high frequency. That is why it produces high-pitched sound. And the same way, you can compare sound, whether it is a high pitch or low pitch, loud or feeble. Thus, you can compare with amplitude and frequency. And every day we hear voices of children and adults, and we can find differences in their voices. Isn't it? What is the difference? Or why do we find these differences between the voice of children and adults? Because the frequency of the voice of child is higher. In child, the frequency is more. That is why they have high pitch sound. And the same way, if you compare this adult, the frequency is low. That is why they have low pitch sound, but the sound will be louder. Usually the same way, if you compare women and man, women has higher frequency than that of a man. So they have high pitched sound. Women has high pitched sound. So the loudness of a sound depends upon amplitude of vibration, and the pitch of a sound depends upon frequency of vibration. Amplitude is more, sound will be loud, and if amplitude is less, or the sound will be feeble. And the same way, if the frequency is less, the sound has low pitch. Frequency is more, the sound has high pitch. Then we have learnt about audible and inaudible sound. We know that for production of sound, vibration is essential. Can we hear the sound of all vibrating bodies? No, because the frequency of less than 20 vibration per second, that is 20 hertz, and the frequency more than 20,000 vibration per second, that is 20,000 hertz or 20 kilohertz, cannot be heard by human. That is why human ear, that range of audible frequency is between 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. So in this range of frequency of sound only can be heard by human. And on the basis of this, we can classify sound, audible sound and inaudible sound. Audible sound, sounds which can hear. Example, sound with frequency from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Inaudible sound, sound which we cannot hear. Example, sounds with frequency less than 20 hertz or more than 20,000 hertz. And then inaudible sound again can be divided into two categories, infrasound and ultrasound. What is infrasound? The sound having frequency below or less than 20 hertz are called infrasound. The sound having frequency more than 20 hertz, 20,000 hertz or 20 kilohertz are called ultrasound. And both infrasound and ultrasound cannot be heard by human. Animals like giraffe, rhinos, whales and all, they used infrasound to communicate. Bats, dogs and cats, they use ultrasound to communicate. And infrasound they use to treat myopia, that is short-sightedness in kids. Ultrasound can be used for various purposes, to find out abnormalities in human body or calculating distances underwater through sonar, that is in submarine. Then we have learnt about difference between noise and music. What is noise? Noise is nothing but unpleasant sound. That is, noise consists of sound waves of varied frequency. That frequency which has no particular pattern. That is, therefore, noise is regarded as a mixture of sound waves with irregular frequencies. And music is a pleasant sound that has a clear pitch. It is created by arranging and combining different sounds in a particular order. The frequencies of musical sounds are harmonious in nature. Then we have learnt about noise pollution. What is noise pollution? Presence of excessive or unwanted sound in the environment is called as noise pollution. Then what are the sources of noise pollution? Major sources of noise pollution are sound of vehicles, explosions, bursting of crackers, sound of this machines, loudspeakers, etc. And what are the sources of noise pollution at home level? That is loud noise of television, transistor or radio which are played at high volume, and some kitchen appliances, desert coolers, air conditioners, etc. From these sources at home level we get noise pollution. And then ill effects of noise pollution. This noise pollution affect our health. Sudden exposure to high noise level can cause permanent deafness by rupturing the eardrum. And if you continuously exposed to noise pollution, a person may lose concentration in his work or studies, and it causes headache and inability to concentrate on work, and also it leads to nervous tension and increased blood pressure. These are, in this way, noise pollution affect our health. Ill effects of noise pollution or harmful effect of noise pollution on human health. And then here we have learned about hearing impairment. Hearing impairment means that a person has difficulty in hearing, damaged hearing ability, or cannot hear properly. It may be temporary or permanent. Permanent is hearing impairment is mostly due to birth defect. And temporary hearing impairment due to aging or due to some accident, some diseases, it causes temporary hearing impairment. And then how can we control noise pollution, measure to limit noise pollution? We have to install silencing devices in aircraft engine, transport vehicles, industrial machines, home appliances, etc. And at a home level, residential area, how can we control noise pollution? All noise operation, it should be away from the residential areas, and noise producing industries should be set up away from residential areas, and use of automobile horns should be minimized. And TV, music systems, they should be played at very low volume. Other than this, trees must be planted along the roads and around the buildings in order to reduce the noise pollution, because trees are a sound absorber. So in this way, we can control noise pollution. That's all for this session. Thank you.